Just popping on. For those of you who know me well, know that I like to read. And so I did a thing and I bought an e-reader. I still love paper books, always have, always will continue to buy them, but I wanted an e-reader for all the reasons why they created e-readers. And I had a tough time diving into the e-reader world because I knew nothing about them. So the top two e-readers, or the brands, are Kindle and Kobo. So Kindle is made by Amazon. Great products. You can buy books straight through your Amazon account, right on your Kindle device, which is great. But if you are a Canadian, you cannot borrow books from your public library. That sucks. The Kindle also only reads, I think, don't quote me, 2 different types of software or documents, which is super limiting. And if you're an American living in the States, no problem. You can borrow from your library, yada yada. But as a Canadian, this doesn't help. So, I mean, I read a few things online where you can, but you have to jump through a bunch of hoops, and then what's the point of the e-reader? So, Kobo is kind of more of the Canadian e-reader. You can access your public library straight from your device, and you also have access to the Kobo store, which is their equivalent to the Amazon store. Although I've heard that Kobo doesn't have as many titles, but as the average reader, you're going to be satisfied. Kobos also have the ability to read more document or software types. So this enables you to download ebooks from third-party websites and have different types of documents and that sort of thing on your device and read them. I haven't dived into that, but that's a plus. So it's a lot more freedom in general to use a Kobo, especially if you're a Canadian. Now, I had trouble with this because there's some conflicting information online. I even called Staples and Best Buy, and they're like, oh yeah, you can access a public library with all the e-readers. That's a lie. You cannot. And I learned the hard way because I actually bought a Kindle first, tried it myself. You can't. And the thing that I found so confusing was all libraries, states or Canada, use a software called Overdrive, which is how you borrow an ebook. But just the Kindle, I don't know if it's licensing, I don't know. They can only do American libraries. So, again, if you're a Canadian and you want to access your public library from your e-reader, you're going to want a Kobo. You can still buy a Kindle if you're just interested in buying books, but I think a really great asset with the ebooks is borrowing from your local library. So this was just my personal opinion and my experience with buying an e-reader. There might be other ways around borrowing, yada yada, but for ease and convenience, as a Canadian, Kobo is the way to go. And I got the Clara HD, and maybe I'll do a little tour of that next.